Let's take a drive in the 2026 Toyota BZ Woodland. This is the fourth vehicle in Toyota's all-electric lineup. We've got the CHR, we've got the regular BZ, we've got the Highlander coming out in 2027, and this is the Woodland. This is a separate version of the BZ, and there are a couple of major changes to it. So the first change is that this is all-wheel drive only, and it has 375 horsepower with dual motors. It's got a battery capacity of 74.7 kilowatt hours. But with that extended length, you do get a slightly bigger cargo area in the back to put your stuff. So with this rear seat in the up position, it's around 33 cubic feet. With the second row folded down, you get around 74 cubic feet. And also, the Woodland does have a couple of unique styling features here. You've got these over fenders, which are plastic or black plastic, and then you've got a slightly different front end. You've still got the hammerhead design. I think it's a very attractive vehicle. You can also get this with optional all-terrain tires. Now this one just has the regular tires on this, and you also get these roof racks, which are standard as well. So the Woodland starts at about $45,000. This is the XLE version, the lower trim level, and you can go up and get the Limited, which I think is about $49,000. Now let's go for a drive. This is not the XLE, this is actually the BZ Woodland all-wheel drive. This is the lower trim level. This particular one is $46,750. And the interior is actually very nicely equipped. You've got a 14-inch multimedia display. This is their next generation display. It's quite good. You can get optional JBL audio. You do get 2 wireless charging pads. They work okay. You've got quite a bit of storage. You've got a center console. You've got storage underneath the centerpiece here, and in the doors you've got room for 2 beverages. And the steering wheel is kind of this interesting BZ style steering wheel. It telescopes, it goes up and down quite a bit. Now for me to look at this display in front of me, I need to have the steering wheel in a pretty low position, but your mileage may vary, of course. I think some taller drivers are the ones that are complaining that it's a little bit of an issue for them. For me, it's perfectly fine. Now, because this is an EV, you can tell that this is really very, very quiet indeed. And the ride quality is excellent too. Now, these roads are pretty nice roads. They're not perfect, but I've noticed that when you go over smaller bumps, it absorbs them really, really nicely. It doesn't give a lot of impact harshness into the cabin. There's a little bit of a bump right there. And motion control is pretty good as well. I like the way this feels. It's got typical Toyota steering, which is pretty much on the lighter side. And that's okay. I think that's what most people are going to want. But you can tell this cabin is insanely quiet. I'm doing 49 miles an hour. Let me just stop talking for 1 second. The noise floor in here is so low, and there's very little airborne noise as well. And I think that has to do with the structure of the body. I think this is a very, very stiff body structure. I've been in some other EVs that tend to make some creaking noises, and you can kind of tell that the structure is just not as solid as perhaps you would like. So let's just get out onto the road here, and I'm just gonna hit it. Whoo! Now they say 0 to 60 comes up in 4.4 seconds. I'm not sure if it hit 60 there. I was looking at the road, but I can tell you this thing is incredibly fast. I know some other journalists have told me that they actually saw 3.8, 3.7 seconds pretty consistently in this. So this is not only Toyota's fastest SUV, this might be their fastest vehicle in the fleet right now. I'm not sure, someone can correct me on that. I think the Supra is rated at 4.2, and of course that is going away this year. 2026 is the last year for the Supra. Now the seats are super comfortable in here. These are Softex, which is sort of a simulated leather. They are both heated, and I think, let me see if these, so this one is not cooled. I'm not sure if the edition above this has cooled seats or ventilated seats, but these seats are really comfortable. This is going to be a good long road trip car. And you can see on the dashboard, it's telling me the efficiency that I'm getting, which right now is 3.5 miles per kilowatt hour. That's actually relatively efficient, but it's not the most efficient that you can imagine. Now, the charging architecture in here is a 400 volt architecture. So they say under ideal conditions at a DC fast charger, you're going to be able to charge from 10 to 80% in 30 minutes or so. Of course, that's under ideal conditions. And the maximum charging speed you're going to see with this architecture is about 150 kilowatts. Now, I know that some of the competitors like Hyundai and Kia have an 800 volt architecture, which allows you to charge faster, but this is Toyota. They're doing things their way. It's not the fastest, but also Toyota is always a little bit more conservative in their implementation of things. And I think that goes to the fact that this is their fourth EV, so they're kind of doing the slow and steady wins the race. Because the battery is down really so low in this vehicle, this handles with a lot less body roll than most other SUVs that you're going to drive. And of course, typical Toyota interior fit and finish quality is excellent in here. Everything just feels well screwed down. It feels very tight. It feels very solid. Now, the sight lines in here are excellent. There's a lot of glass. You've also got a large glass sunroof, which goes over the rear seat. The heating and ventilation controls, I wish they had more physical controls on it, but ultimately, you can still use it. You do need to take your hands off the road a little bit, but this actually does have a voice recognition system, so I think I can change the temperature. Hey Toyota, change the temperature to 69 degrees.
Setting the temperature to 69 degrees.
Okay, that was a little bit on the slow side. As I understand it, their new multimedia interface system processes a lot of the voice commands locally in the car, so you don't need to connect to the cloud. And that wasn't the quickest, but again, I'm driving what is essentially a pre-production vehicle right now at this press launch, and we are in beautiful Southern California, and you can see these roads are absolutely incredible. So I think one of the advantages of an EV like this over the RAV4 is that you're just getting a lot more refinement. This feels like a more luxurious vehicle because you don't have that rattly four-cylinder that Toyota has, that 2.4, 2.5 liter turbocharged engine, which is pretty peppy, but it doesn't really sound very good. So you've got a lot more, just a quiet environment here, which is going to be great to listen to your stereo or just cruise to work in a little bit more of a chill atmosphere. And this also has Toyota Safety Sense 3.0, which has a level 2 system. So that means you've got lane departure control. It's going to bring you back into your lane. It has some form of automatic braking, and you've got dynamic cruise control. And in my experience, Toyota has really put a lot of work into the system right now, and I think it's pretty well implemented, and I think it's one of the better systems out there. This should be available at dealers starting in March, and the Woodland has a little bit more of an off-road vibe than the regular BZ, and it's also just a little bit more practical with its extra length.